Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me in my Research in Progress Project 2, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So first I'm going to go off a little bit of information as to what I'm studying, how I got into this whole research project, and so I'm currently a freshman studying at the Wayne State University in the Mike Ilitch School of Business, and I am majoring in accounting, and I'm seeking a 4-year bachelor's degree in business administration. In my discourse community, I was hoping to further my knowledge into the discourse community by researching relevant topics that are discussed today. And the topic that I decided to go under was, upon entering the accounting discourse community, what principles, concepts, and ideas do accountants need to know? But specifically, the research question that I decided to use was, how did the adoption of IFRS affect the way firms report financial information compared to GAAP, which is what was used for the past 60, 70 years in the United States. The whole process of how this whole thing came to start was at first kind of hard for me to do. I had little to no idea as to how to find good sources or sources that would give me good information on how to build this project. But as the semester and course moved on, I did find a few sources that Professor posted in the videos, filled a few modules, a few articles that helped help me get a clear idea as to what was expected and how to go about on doing that. But the one thing that worked for me the most was the refined key search process. So when you're going on the university library and you're searching up keywords, when you find a few articles, it'll start, generating words that are common and topics and ideas that are common within those articles. And what you could do is you click on the ones that you want, 1, 2, 3, click on all of those, whatever one you want, and then it'll show you articles that have all of those clicked on, ideas and principles in your search results, which helped me very well in finding good resources and sources that provided quality and answered the research question that I was asking, which was the main goal here. And this is the census map. This is kind of my version as to what it is. And I divided it and used my Cornell notes to divide it into colors. And basically I took characteristics that all of those sources showed, and what source, one of my other sources, just that source showed, and made a little bit of a definition as to what those characteristics were and which sources had that kind of information and or trait, and I put it under that. Now, if you have any questions or concerns as to how this all worked out, feel free to comment in the YouTube section, or if you have any other messages, I'm more than open to listening to that as well. Feel free to do that in the comments section. The proposal that I decided to do was evaluating all the options to decide on which form of accounting principles is to be used in reporting directly to foreign investors. Would it be used GAAP and fill out the Form 20F, which would reconcile the investors, but it would cost the company in expenses to compile and build, but it would provide investors with exclusive knowledge outside of their own. Or to use IFRS, which doesn't require a reconciliation form of 20F, to make an option for firms to send investor reconciliation directly, but there is a difference in how that information is put together, whereas here in the United States, people who use IFRS have a difficult time communicating with people who use GAAP and vice versa, but IFRS is used internationally. And so there's been a lot of times where profits and company costs have changed, and there's been confusion around all that because of these two principles, and that's cost a lot of investors money. Well, that brings us to the culmination of the project. Thank you for joining me. I hope this video gave you a little bit of insight as to how my research went. But feel free to put in the comments how your research went, any suggestions, comments, or concerns. Once again, thank you so much. And then this is the citations for all of these sources that I had compiled and used.